I'm a link leader here at Amity High School. I'm in 12th grade. Inside school, I'm a member of the National Art Honor Society, which is really cool. If you're interested in art, you can come and talk to me about that. Outside of school, I have a job at Stop and Shop, and I'm a cashier, and so that takes up a lot of my time, and I'm really excited to be working with you guys today.
Yeah, and I'm Jenny. So I know some of you guys already, because of my little sister. She's a 9th grader. And, I'm really interested in theater. I'm in the fall production, so I hope that some of you guys will, be there to sort of cheer us on when we do that. And I also have an after-school job. I worked out at Brookside Farm Market, so I know everything about fruits and vegetables if, you want me to help you out with making some good choices.
All right, so we have this really great day today where we get to see you guys for a couple of hours in the morning, and the purpose is to really talk about making assumptions, right? What's an assumption? What happens when you make an assumption? What is the definition of an assumption? David?
It's kind of like a judgment that you pass.
Kind of like a judgment or a guess you make about something based on maybe some information or no information, right? And sometimes when we make assumptions about people, we are blocking our ability to get to know an individual, right? So that's what we're going to be really talking about today. So we put you in pairs with someone that you don't really know very well, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to have you face your partner, and for 30 seconds, try to notice as much as you can about them. So you can look at their hair, look at their face, see what kind of clothes they're wearing, what kind of backpack they're carrying. Just try to notice as many details about them as you can. Got it? Okay, so turn to your partner, and go. Just look at them. Nope, just look at them. You don't have to write it down.
Just look at your
Just look. Don't talk.
Nope, don't write. Just look. Don't write anything, guys.
Just look.
Notice everything you can notice.
Notice everything. Okay, wow, that was 30 seconds. Great job, guys. Now I want you to take out a pen or a pencil, and on your paper, answer a few questions. Just by looking at that person, I want you to make some assumptions about them. Number 1, what is your person's or your partner's dream car? What is your partner's dream car? Based on looking at them, what do you think? Dream car. Number 2, what is your partner's favorite breakfast cereal? If you need to take another peek at them, feel free. Number 3, what kind of music does your partner listen to? What's their favorite kind of music? Number 4, what kind of future job do you think this person wants? What kind of job do you think this person wants in the future? All right, 5th assumption, what hobbies or how does this person spend their spare time? What kind of hobbies does this person have? Or how do they spend their spare time? Okay, now I want you to share answers with your partner and see how you did. assumptions that you made on? Jake, what did you base your assumptions on?
Well, he was wearing a football jersey. Has a hoodie on underneath it, neck vents. I assumed he played football.
You assumed he was a football player or an athlete, okay, by looking at what he was wearing. Okay? Sarah, what kind of assumptions did you make and what were they based on? How did you pick, a dream car by looking at someone?
Well, I looked at like the watch she's wearing and her nails are done, and she has like an expensive bag, so I figured she'd want a car that's like really, really nice and expensive.
Oh, like a fancy car.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, thinking about when you spoke to your partner and you compared answers, were you right more often or wrong? Jared?
I was wrong.
You were wrong more often. Anyone else who was wrong more often? Yeah. Do we make assumptions about people based on information that has nothing to do with what you're judging? Right? You're looking at what someone's wearing. Maybe Natasha could care less about cars, right? Maybe Natasha wrote, I want a Jeep, and I want to go in the mud with it. But because of what she's wearing and how she looks, Sarah made the assumption that she wanted a fancy car, okay? So just be aware of these assumptions that we make, all right, about people. And how does this affect our ability to get to know people? Has making an assumption about somebody ever prevented you from becoming friends with them? Do any of you have a friend who at first you thought you would not be friends with because of some assumption you made? Right? Can anyone give an example of that? David?
I have a friend who's really when I met her and she was really quiet and collected. She doesn't really talk to a lot of people, and I'm really the opposite of that. So when I started talking to her, we became friends, and it's just kind of I wouldn't expect us to become friends because we're both so opposite.
And if you never had that opportunity to talk through an activity or a club or a class, you would probably never have that friend because you assumed she wasn't going to be your type, right? My boyfriend sat next to this kid in class and he had to do a project and he came up to me and said, oh, I have to work with this kid and we definitely have nothing in common. We're definitely not going to be friends. And I said, why? He goes, oh, we're nothing alike. And then they did this project together, and they realized they both love sports, they both love the Yankees, they had an interest in becoming teachers in the future, and now they're really, really good friends. But just by looking at him on the first day, he thought, oh, this kid I just have to work with on this project and we'll never be friends. So we really need to be careful about those assumptions that we make, in our lives. Now, how do we do this with different groups on campus, right? Think about all the cliques and the people you associate with different groups. So we're going to take a few minutes, and on the back of your card, I just want you off the top of your head to jot down 10 different groups that you can think of that we have here on the campus of Amity.
So think about, people that congregate in the hallway, and you've seen this group of people together, or that group of people all sitting together at lunch, or whatever. What are those different kinds of groups that we have?
Okay, wow, that 2 minutes flew by so fast. Can you believe it? Now let's share some of our groups. Jenny is going to write some on the board, so you can just yell out some of the groups that you thought of. So what are some of the groups we have here at Amity?
Hippies.
Hippies.
Art kids.
Artsy kids.
Jocks.
Preppy kids. Jocks.
Theater kids.
Theater kids. Drama kids. What else?
I said stoners.
Stoners. Okay. What other ideas did you have?
The cool kids.
Cool kids, whatever the heck that
Popular
means.
kids.
Cool kids. Yeah, smart.
The kids that don't know middle school is over.
Oh, so we could
What does that
say immature kids.
Go for it.
All right. Some kids stuck in middle school. I heard something else out there. Smart kids, right? Honors AP kids,
But the
high
smart kids
flyers.
aren't always necessarily the nerds. It's the nerdy kids, what you consider.
Okay,
Okay.
so those might be two different things.
All right, rebels, rednecks. All right. So we have this large group, okay? And maybe if we had a few more minutes, belong to this group. I think that we are not going to include stoners in this group because that might not be appropriate, but it is an understandable group that you guys made, okay? So, stand up if you identify yourself as a hippie. You can pretend. Oh, okay. We got a couple hippies. All right, have a seat. Any people who consider themselves preppy? Preppy person. All right, great, guys. Where are my jocks? Where are my jocks? All right. Okay. Where are my drama kids? Switch it up. Where are my drama kids? Artsy? Got some artsy? All right. Who thinks they're cool? Everybody thinks they're cool, right? Where are my cool kids? Everybody. All right, where are my immature kids? Maybe you are stuck. Maybe a little bit stuck.
Maybe you're present.
You're just so cross-cultural. All right, where are the smart kids? Or kids who feel like, yeah, I'm a good student. Where are my nerdy kids? All right, where are my nerdy kids who own it up, right? Where are my rebels? Rebels. Fight the power? All right, any rednecks? Perfect. All right. Great job, guys. What we really want you to realize is that many groups make up our community. All of these groups play a role in our community. But all of these groups are made of individuals. Right? And an individual can't be defined by the group. Many of you stood up a few different times. Would it be fair if people just assumed you were one member of one group and that's all that you were? You know, maybe you are artsy, maybe you're also athletic, maybe you're a little bit of a rebel. Okay? But that's what prevents us from really getting to know people. All right? And getting to know the individual is much more important than just associating someone with the group. All right? So what we're going to ask you today, what Jenny and I are going to ask you today, is try to hear individual stories, right? When you are in a group with someone, or you have to do a project, or you're doing community service with someone, hear an individual story and try to put away those ideas about who they are, what group they belong to. All right? So thank you guys so much for participating. We had a great day today. We're going to do a few other activities. All right? And remember, as you move on from here, get to know somebody, you know, especially someone that you don't know very well. Go a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Thanks, guys.